I'm Bambi Francisco, and I'm speaking with Sharon Weinbar. She's a managing director at Scale Venture Partners. Sharon, we were talking earlier about Yelp turning down a $500 million offer from Google and what that signals to you. What does that mean?
Well, I can't say that I can sit inside any of the investors or the entrepreneurs' head there and say, that I wouldn't take that money. But I think there's a couple things going on there potentially. One is the local advertising market is huge. So well over $100 billion is spent by small businesses on advertising. There's about $12 billion spent in Yellow Pages, another $12 billion spent on local TV and newspaper, and then hundreds of other kinds of media outlets. Think about all those ads for real estate agents that you see on your little shopping cart as you're pushing it around, billboards, everything, all of this different money. So $100 billion is the largest, making it the largest category of advertising spend. TV broadcast advertising is about $70 billion. So huge headroom in a market, served market, that is making a transition to online, but we're only in the very early days of having small businesses manage their advertising online. So it could be that what they're thinking
$500 million isn't enough for that.
Right, exactly, that there's a lot of running room. Most startups have the problem of there's not enough addressable market. You invent something and there turns out to be not that much business for it. In local internet advertising, that's not likely to be the problem.
Well, let's say that they are generating $30 to $50 million in revenue. Is that something that, are they well on their way to capturing this big, huge market?
Well,
for them to...
It sounds big for a startup. We're all really excited when our companies get to that kind of revenue range.
Sure.
But, when you see, the billions and billions of dollars that are spent in other outlets, and you think, hey, all I have to do, it may be that maybe they figured out a model that says, here's how you get customers profitably. There's 20 million small businesses and they only have a small percentage of them. Maybe they just think, let it compound for longer and I'll end up with something that's a, truly dominant company.
Well, your companies, let's see, Merchant Circle, Reply, those are small businesses, HubSpot, small business but more advertising marketing. So why would Google choose a company like Yelp and not Merchant Circle?
One of the things, so there's a huge percentage of searches on Google that have local intent. About 25% of all searches on the internet have some kind of local intent. And that's judged by, it's a search that is something that's either inherently local, like you're looking for something like pizza, which is not likely to be a web property, or it's a search where in the string of keywords is a city name, a neighborhood, a zip code, something like that. So you aggregate all this together, 25% of all the searches, it's probably the biggest category after celebrity, right? The biggest category of searches.
That could be a lot of traffic driving. Google could drive to itself.
So there's tons of consumer intent in looking for things local. My understanding of Google's strategy is to provide a great end-user experience and elevate the relevant information to the top of the search results. So it's not, the algorithm is not purely, some math thing that happens in a black box, but it's tuned to the delivering the right customer experience they're looking for. So one of the things that's nice about Yelp is there's lots of unique content there that's not aggregated from other sites. So many other small business marketing services do things like scrape sites or buy data from someone like InfoUSA. Those are the people that have the database of all the companies that are Yellow Pages advertisers. Put that together in some kind of clever directory-like structure that looks unique to the Google bot, but is in fact not. Yelp, because of this strong following of Yelpers who write really, passionate reviews, positive and negative, for local businesses, that's content that only Yelp has, and Yelp doesn't let other people scrape their site. That content doesn't end up on other websites, and so Google may be thinking that what we really need is all this definitive, unique content about what do people think about the drinks at this bar, and do they think that barber is better than the other barber?
Right. What are some opportunities around local and small business?
Oh, there's so many. It's really exciting. And I didn't tell you this, but in a past life, I was a Bain & Company consultant, and I worked in the Yellow Pages industry for 2 years.
Wow. No wonder.
So I have a long-standing passion about this area because it is a big market. So there's opportunities, I would say, to both change the sales strategy for how you get small businesses to buy internet services. So Yellow Pages companies have a very distinct sales strategy, which is they have sales teams that go in to a neighborhood, and they fly them around the country or bus them. But it'll be sales season in Oakland in October, and they go door to door, knocking on small businesses' doors, taking orders for Yellow Pages. They finish the book. They finish selling out the book in October in Oakland. And then, it'll be November, they'll sell someplace else, and in December someplace else. So there are these sales campaigns, door-to-door salespeople. It's actually a pretty expensive sales model. It costs between about $200 and $2,000 to get a customer.
Wow.
So there's some, but all the money in Yellow Pages and in a lot of online advertising to date is made by only a handful of categories. So think about the old Yellow Pages books. The vast majority of revenue is coming from the categories where people need a service provider right away and they don't know who to call. So they open the book and they go, whoever has a double page ad, I'll call. Right. That's why you've got, the AA1 plumber, right?
Right.
With the double page ad, that's a $2,000 a month ad. So it was cost effective for them to send a sales guy for $2,000 to get $2,000 a month.
Sure.
So it's plumbers, bail bondsmen, dentists, lawyers. Those the people, you need them, you don't know who to call, you open the Yellow Pages. So there's a big opportunity to have a cheaper sales channel than flying people around.
And because they still do that today.
They still do that today. That's City Search's sales model. And it's Reach Local sales model. So Reach Local, they just filed their S1 yesterday, $143 million revenue year to date through September with, I think the number is 483 IMCs, Internet Marketing Consultants. And what that means is it's a sales guy who walks down the street and takes an order from a local business for an ad. So this is the reason why I invested in Merchant Circle. Was Merchant Circle sought to be completely different in their sales channel. And instead of having feet on the street salespeople like City Search or Reach Local, or a large telesales force. So the telesales force is where you've got a big call center and they're dialing out. That's Yodel's strategy. So Yodel's very much like Reach Local, except they use telesales instead of in-person sales. Or a company like YellowPages.com. They had 80 telesales reps in Reno, Nevada, smiling and dialing across the country, getting people to advertise on the web. Merchant Circle was started by two guys with a social networking background, and their whole idea was, can we get merchants to get other merchants to join?
Right.
And so if we're neighboring stores on Main Street and I join, will I tell you to join?
Right.
And in fact,
how many merchants do they have on?
They have about 1 million merchants
active.
About 1 million merchants active. There's a smaller number who pay for premium services, but even the active merchants get a lot of value from the system. It's a freemium model.
Right.
So this is a very lightweight model. There's only 20 employees at Merchant Circle. Compare that to 483 sales reps at Reach Local. So very different strategy. So that's one vector that you can do something new, is new sales strategy. And then the other vector where you can invent something new in local is, what is the way that the merchant actually manages their advertising? So again, old Yellow Pages, you fill out a form, I want to advertise. Often they didn't even have creative. It's a display ad, but these people don't have, they don't have marketing departments.
Right.
The
but they didn't get very creative.
Right. So you gave, So what you did was you gave your business card to the Yellow Pages sales rep, and the sales rep took it back to the office and scanned it in, and a graphics department made the ad. It was totally, we do the service for you.
Right.
And again, that's very much the Reach Local model. Is, don't worry, we'll be your online marketing agency. We'll take it over from you. And then at the opposite end of the extreme from that, you have Google, which is, hey, it's a bidded system for AdWords and AdSense. What words would you like to advertise? So it's not even what products and services or what neighborhoods, but you have to know what keywords, how much you want to bid on them, what's your conversion rate. I mean, so it's it's a very specific skill set.
Are you looking for a company like that?
No,
no.
So that's actually that's the other end of the spectrum from Reach Local. But along this spectrum, from a totally do-it-yourself and be an expert in how to manage keywords, or Reach Local, don't worry your pretty little head over it, we'll just deliver you calls or leads. There's a bunch of different solutions in the middle. And again, so companies like Merchant Circle, one of our portfolio companies, or Reply.com, which is another marketing service in the local market, provide sort of more packaged up services that deliver leads, high-value leads to the customer without being just an agency model, but also without requiring all the expertise in keyword bidding.
Okay. Well, Sharon, I know that that if anybody, any private company out there wants to know where the opportunities are, the growth areas are in local, they should look at your portfolio companies.
Oh, thank you so much.
What you're looking at. Okay,
thanks,
Sharon. I've been speaking with Sharon Weinbar. She's a managing director at Scale Venture Partners. I'm Bambi Francisco.